In his book, A Rhetoric of Motives, language philosopher Kenneth Burke advocated for the importance of decorum in building believability, credibility, and connection with an audience. At its heart, it's about meeting the expectation of listeners where they are, not necessarily where you are. He wrote, "You can persuade a man only insofar as you can talk his language by speech, gesture, tonality, order, image, attitude, idea, identifying your way with his." That's a high bar for anybody trying to deliver an effective message, and an especially daunting set of expectations for non-native English speakers who need to present to English-speaking audiences. In order to be persuasive in English when it's not your native tongue, you'll want to demonstrate that you've taken the time and effort to learn English as well as you can, to understand the styles that resonate best for this audience, and be mindful of cultural differences that could distract from or undermine your effectiveness. Based on Burke's work, here are 5 tips to help you better connect with your audience. Practice, practice, practice speaking in English, but don't make yourself crazy trying to perfect it. Even I, as a native English speaker from a long line of native English speakers, am far from perfecting it. You want to demonstrate that you've put the effort into getting it right, but there will be no such thing as perfect. Know that most native English speakers are impressed with anybody attempting to learn this complex language and will forgive you when you misspeak or mispronounce things. Don't try to hide your accent either. You want to be seen as genuine and credible, and covering something up undermines your credibility. Work on matching your gestures to that of the audience, the topic, and the occasion. For example, celebrating the fact that your team exceeded your Q3 sales goals may call for bigger, sweeping gestures to generate excitement, while sharing that a new round of layoffs is coming calls for smaller, more calming, and sober gestures. Emulate the tone of voice that's right for the audience, topic, and occasion. You might need to practice speaking in quieter tones to a small group, thinking through a complex process step by step. Or you might need to try speaking with more emotional, varied tones if you're telling the heartbreaking yet uplifting story of somebody who was helped by your nonprofit organization. As for order, many native English speakers prefer a headline-first approach, where you deliver the main point clearly and quickly, and then show how you got there. Think about it like a math test. Give the answer, and then show your work. This may be very different from your native indirect, intuitive, or relational approach. When it comes to attitude, as you think about adapting, identifying your way with your audience's way to meet their expectations, you want to make sure that you come across as a respectful visitor and not as a phony native. In other words, you do not want to pretend to be something or someone you're not, and you definitely don't want to hide your background, your culture, your ethnicity, or anything else that makes you who you are.